Hello everyone, this is Rajveer, Managing Director of Tiptoe Immigration, and today I'm going to make a video on the common mistakes that I see on people's application form, right? So if you made these mistakes, you're decreasing your visa chances. Please avoid these mistakes. Please listen to this video very carefully. I'm going to show you on this form the mistake I normally see on people's form, right? So please listen carefully. Okay. First mistake I normally see is that if someone's visa has been refused, right, then they should definitely enter their UCI number here. Yeah, it's numerical digits. It should be entered here. If your previous visa has been refused, it's a required, it's a must, right? If you're applying first time, leave this blank. It's perfectly fine. Next move on your name, right? If you don't have a surname on your passport, don't write Singh on your family name and you give a name like, for example, Manpreet. Write your complete name, Manpreet Singh, on your surname, right? If you don't have a surname, that's a proper way to do it. Next move on. The next mistakes that I normally see. Let's go to the next page. So when mentioning your language, right, you should always first mention your first language, your native language. If you're from Punjab, don't mention Hindi, right? If you speak Punjabi, right, so mention Punjabi, okay? And on the second question, if the embassy on the form, the embassy asks us that, are you able to communicate in English or in French? Please never say neither, right? Or never say both if you don't know how to speak French. So select English here. It's really a requirement. Next, let's move on to the next mistake I normally see in people's form, and that's leaving the alternative number, right? If you're visiting a hotel, right, if you're not being sponsored by any relative, you can click you can tick mark Canada here and enter the hotel phone number here, right? And if you're visiting a relative, make sure you provide their number here, their Canadian number. It's a requirement. And you should definitely provide your email address. Leaving this blank is a big mistake. The reason for that is the embassy normally contact you through an email. So not providing an email is missing a chance of not getting contacted by the embassy if they require further documentation or information from your site, right? So let's move on to the next page and let's see the mistakes people do on the third page. So basically when it comes to your education, right, provide proper details. And when it comes to employment, the normal mistake I see is that people feel that two-part, right? Like someone is working, he's an agriculturist, so he started being an agriculturist on 2015 March, right? And he worked as an agriculturist till 2018 of June. So you should leave this blank. If you're currently working as an agriculturist, don't fill any date here. It means that you're currently working, so that's why there's no till date, okay? Same goes to your second profession. For example, if you're a dairy farmer, right? If you're no longer having the dairy farm, don't then include the till date. Like you work from 2012 to 2015, you work as a dairy farmer, right? But if you're currently working as a dairy farmer, don't write any date, year and months on the two part, right? Okay. Next mistake I normally see is that, for example, on the current activity occupation, you wrote agriculturist, which is perfectly fine. Then on the part where you have to mention your company, employer or facility name, you said self-employed. So instead of writing self-employed, write not applicable, because that's the right way to do it. Same goes to second part, like if you're the owner of the dairy farmer, if you're a dairy farmer doesn't have a name, right? If it has a name, don't write proprietor like a businessman, right? Write the name of your dairy farm, for example Sandhu, or any surname, right? So you can write like for example, what's perfect dairy farm, famous dairy farm around Jalandhar. So you can say Jalandhar dairy farm, right? So you can write that there. So if you don't have a farm name, just write not applicable, but don't write proprietor. Okay, whatever your surname is, if you have registered that business, write it here, otherwise leave it. All right. Okay, so like for example Bawa dairy farm, right? It can be anything, but if you don't have a proper registration, just write not applicable. Don't write any name right here. Okay, let's move on to the next mistake that I normally see in people's form, is that when it comes to indicating that their visa has been refused, what people do most oftenly is that they try to explain the reason when their visa was refused from Canada, right? So this is not an appropriate way to do it. Like when the officers, the embassy asks on their form that have you ever been refused a visa or permit, denied entry or ordered to leave Canada? If your visa has been refused, say yes. Have you previously applied to enter Canada, right? So indicate yes. But when it comes to explaining, just enter your UCI number, because that's your unique client number, right? If you provide your UCI number here, the embassy can look for any details in your previous application, right? That's the perfect way to do it. But if your visa has been refused from any other country, not particularly from Canada, so for example your US visa was refused, so enter the date, right, and just simply write US visa refused. Don't try to give too much explanation, right? That is enough. Okay, so on the last page, what I normally see is that people tick no here. So you should always say yes. If the embassy wants to contact you in the near future, you shouldn't have any problem, right? You should click yes here. So that's the few of the major mistakes I see, right, on the application forms. Please note that so this is only like 20 to 30% mistakes. If I want to cover all the mistakes I see, it will take like hours, because I see so many mistakes. Just for example's sake, I forget to mention a few of the mistakes. Let me just go on that page. Like for here it says funds available for my stay, indicating you just have 2,000, so that's not sufficient. Your ticket will be around that price point. So as I'm saying, there are so many mistakes people do in their application form that could have been avoided, and they could have gotten the necessary desired visa, right? So the mistakes I covered in this video are only 20 to 30% mistakes. There are a lot of mistakes more, right, that I haven't covered yet. So please, if you're filling your form by yourself, or some agent is filling the form for yourself, right, please make sure you double check everything. If you're filling on yourself, right, if you're filling it by yourself, if someone else is filling the form for you, make sure you double check everything, because having a mistake on your form could lead to a refusal, because this is the first thing the visa officer check. So hope you like this video. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up, and do share and like our video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you. This is Rajveer, Managing Director of TipTime Immigration. Bye.